Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Arcades and Avenues, the podcast dedicated to Disneyland Paris, where we look at contemporary news in the parks as well as have a fun look at the past of what makes DLP unique. I'm Ash, and again, I'm with my co-pilot, Holly. How's it going?
It's going good. It's good to be back once
Good,
again.
good. How did you like that intro? Was that good?
Yeah, I like to change it up a bit and zhuzhed it up a little bit.
Was that like episode and do you know what I mean, going up and down?
Yeah, it was getting a bit sing-song.
What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that would spice it up. I think that would keep people, engaged. Although we have been keeping people engaged, haven't we? People have been
somehow, I don't know.
climbing. People have been listening regularly. So thank you to all the regulars and welcome to all the new listeners. Yeah, what has been going on? What's new?
I feel like I say this every episode.
Yeah.
Don't have anything to bring. My life outside of Disguise is very mundane. School runs, housework, cooking. Do you know what I mean?
No dish that was exciting that you tried or a reel that you thought was funny.
I've been to Disney and we'll talk about that. That's what we're going to talk about in the pod. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. To be fair, that's true. And same,
but you, Ash, you always have something interesting to bring. What have you been up to in the last 4 weeks?
What has been up to in the last 4 weeks? Well, I did go to Disney as well. I went like a couple of weeks after you. We will be speaking about that later on. And I've been getting into models. I've fully embraced my granddad era. I've always been an old soul at heart. Ones that know me know that. How I dress, what I'm like, how grumpy I am. So models is just basically the final boss to my evolution, really. Where at the weekend I will have these like
models of
instructions.
What?
It'll be like a grocery store, it'll be a cafe, there'll be different types of models. I can't remember what the company is called now, but we saw it while we was like just window shopping in Harrods, as you do, and we went into the toy section and there was like, oh, that looks a bit fun to do, let's try and do that. And then we brought it during Christmas, and then I got obsessed with it because it includes the lights as well. You can turn the lights on in the shop and you got the door opening, and then it just became this thing now, and I've got like 4 or 5 of them, and it reminds me on Main Street the way that they are.
I was going to say, I can see why this is attracted to you, to be honest.
Yeah. So, and then
are you going to make like a whole town? Is that the goal?
Yeah,
like eventually you'll have like a whole
like
scene?
a street. Yeah.
Main Street.
So exactly. Yeah. Well, now the Lego is out. So
where do you keep it?
Mate, God, like I just have to like clear things off. Do you know what I mean? And just
I know
it's ridiculous at this point. But yeah, that's what's been keeping me busy. Yeah, cool, sad. You decide. Yeah.
Nah, we all have our little hobbies. I mean, do you know what? I think if that's what you like, I think great. I always get caught up in I had, just to preface this, I haven't bought any of these yet, but every year at Christmas time, like you can buy the Christmas village scenes and they've got like rides or like shops and I would love to have one of them, but I think Birdie would destroy it in 3 seconds flat and they're very expensive. So I can see how that's like appealing, because every year I'm like, one day I'll have a whole Christmas village with a little train that goes around. Yeah.
It's just these incremental, do you know what I mean? I'll do it for like half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, however long I want to do it, really. And then you'll look at how you started until like in the next few weeks, like, actually, mate, this is coming along nicely.
Coming together.
Yeah. So it's fun.
We've got a population of 100 now.
Exactly. There will all be Arcades and Avenues listeners. There will all be Arcades and Avenues listeners.
No.
Yeah. Hopefully that's not just the listeners. They're actually real people that will listen in as well. But yeah. It's like Sims, but in real life.
Yeah. See, I can get on board with the Sims. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a lot of news.
We do.
A lot of things. It's going to be quite a packed schedule today, folks. But I'm going to let you start off with it.
Okay, so
what's happening?
The news. Last night, Disneyland Paris shared with us a sneak peek of the new cavalcade coming to Disney Adventure World in 24th of July. So this is a princess cavalcade. I think there's 4 floats. Don't quote me on that. There's a Raya, a Tiana, Rapunzel, Moana. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they shared a little sneak peek. They also did a soft, like
Over the
soft
weekend.
opening of it for cast members only last night. But yes, that's coming to Disney Adventure World, well, mainly Adventure Way in the Bay Area from the 24th of July.
So yeah, over the weekend, the cast members, they saw the preview and it looks pretty cool. The production isn't long. I think it's like 13 minutes.
Yeah.
But it is a
It's a
cavalcade, so
cavalcade.
it's not supposed to
Yeah.
be long. And, people are like, well, it was at night, so it's got to be a night parade. And from what we know, it's expected to be in the day. However, the floats are evening ready, quote unquote, because I presume they are expecting to have this run into the winter where it gets dark
That's
earlier.
what I was going to say. Yeah, it's not going to be a nighttime thing. It just, when it gets dark at 3:00 in December, they'll have lights, which will be quite nice. But I am still a bit like gutted about losing Minnie's marching band, if I'm being real.
Well, yeah, this is the thing now. I don't like DLP's attitude of it's one or the other.
Yeah.
I just don't know why you can't have both.
Right. Because we could.
It's Mickey and the Magician all together. You can't have both. You know what I mean? It's always something. All right, Pirates or Big Thunder Mountain. You can't have both.
You can't have both.
Usually you'll find that's the case a lot of the time. And it's the same with this. And I'm sure they could find another route. I don't know why that is conflicting. The cavalcade's not going to be continuous. So in between the cavalcade, they could do the
marching band.
The marching band, even if it's twice a day.
Right.
So, that sucks that it's scheduled to end. And I hope they bring it back in some form. But yeah, who knows?
Well, we'll see. But no shade to the cavalcade. Like, I'm sure it's going to be great. And I've heard
it will be, yeah.
I've heard the song. I think the song's nice. Yeah. Just a shame like you say, we could have to have one or the other.
Yeah. All right. Next one is Disneyland Paris new dining plan, which has been leaked. Is it a leak? Because I don't think Disneyland Paris
it's not been officially announced. So
it seems like it. Yeah, seems like it is a leak. There are graphics out there showing the new plan where it is boasting new flexibility. And, have it your way, Burger King style type of thing where, you can do things how you want. You can have your breakfast and then your lunch or your dinner, and you don't have to have breakfast to have your lunch or your dinner. There are 4 new packages. So there is the Essential package, which I believe is 18 restaurants. You've got the Extra package, which is 25, the Signature, which is 30, and the Royal, which I believe is only exclusive to Disneyland Hotel residents, and that is 34 restaurants that are eligible on the Royal package. I don't really still fully understand it. I'm a person that doesn't really go for dining plans anyway. I get why some people do, because, if you paid for it all in advance, you don't have to worry about anything else. All you have to worry about is merch and, do you know what I mean, getting what you want to get at the shops and whatnot, instead of having to worry about taking it out of the budget for food. So in that respect, I've done it. I've done it once or twice, like 10, 15 years ago. So, and this is why they've changed it now, I suppose, because at that time it was very restrictive, and it's like, you can only have these 3 things on this menu for this. And I'm like, what? I don't want that. I want that. Oh, well, that's not included in the dining plan. So to their credit, maybe they've changed it where they're like, no, you're paying this fee, but you can have anything on the dining plan as long as it's included.
Yeah.
But does it save you money or not? They say if you book in advance for breakfast, it will save you up to 17% more.
That's because they charge like 40 quid for breakfast.
Breakfast is €50, but if you book it now, you can get it for the correct price that you would get it if you went there. So I don't know. Yeah, I'm not totally convinced that it saves you. I think it does save you. I think legally they have.
I mean, I think it
has to save you money. I don't know how. I don't know on the grand scheme of things if it's a lot more saved than if you used to go there. But I think, I'm going on too much about this now, but I love my food, so go on.
Yeah, so do I. But that's what I was about to say. I love my food, and you know me, Ash. I'm
exactly. No, of course.
Yeah. And I'm a hungry woman. But I just don't think you saw how quickly I ate that soup in once.
God. Yeah.
I just don't think I would eat my money's worth, especially on the higher packages, like the places that I would like to eat. I just don't, and it's like, well, like, isn't it like per day? Like it's like it works out like whatever tier you choose, it's like per person per day. Like some of the higher end ones,
Yeah,
will
40 euros. It goes like from 40 euros to Royal, which is up to 90 euros. No, 90 euros a day or something like. But yeah,
as an
170 if you're
individual,
doing
I
it
don't
like
think I'd eat that much personally, and it can vary day to day. Like I won't eat a sit down meal every day because I want to be doing other stuff, but I would eat, little bits from the kiosks and stalls multiple times in one day, and then maybe a quick service. But I still don't think, I don't know. If you like,
So I would have
you,
a sit down meal every day, but not every
would
meal. Yeah, like every day I will be in a restaurant for one meal, and the
Yeah.
rest I'll just snack it. And I may change it up. I may have lunch, sit down meal, but for the evening I'll just snack it. Lunch, snack it, and then for the meal I'll have a sit down. Do you know what I mean? Another day, but I will probably sit down at one point. I can't just. But that's
mind
just
you,
me.
I'm saying this because I've got a small child who won't sit still in a restaurant, so it's not what I would. But if, for instance, when I go in September and I've got a few days to myself, I have booked sit-down meals for those days because I'm like, well, it's a rare occasion that I'll be able to sit and eat in peace and quiet in a restaurant.
Just breaks it up a bit, isn't it? Of just like sitting down and just like, oh, for God's sake, let me just like, rest my feet and eat rather than just eating on the go when you're constantly on the go anyway. Do you know what I mean? So like, when you get a break, sit down. But yeah, I'm sure when Disneyland Paris release that, then you'll have a lot more details.
Yeah, which could be, well, I mean, the dining plans, it says on the dining plan from bookings from April 2027. So I imagine we'll hear something fairly soon because I think, isn't it September they release their bookings for the following year? So I would imagine by September we would have heard something official. But in other news, the Main Street horses and trolleys are set to be removed from circulation at Disneyland Paris. But I'm a bit gutted about this. You don't see them out all that often anyway. What are your thoughts on it, man?
I've got a lot of thoughts.
Yeah.
On this. For any normal person, that's quite weird to talk about this in so much depth. But to anyone that knows me, I am a Main Street nut. Like, that is where my heart is. Disneyland Paris has the best Main Street in the world, in my opinion. I just think, so there's two tiers to it. I understand it, but I'm not happy with it. Horses are banned in public parks in France already. Ponies are already. So the writing was on the wall because Disney previously, they got rid of Buffalo Bills and they don't like to be on the wrong side of things. It's always about reevaluating things and image. Image is everything to Disney. And if you look at the cost and practicality of it, maintaining them isn't cheap, right? They have a pony farm backstage, which I think is doing that, like it's over there, but it's like where Frontierland is.
Yeah.
And that's where they're housed, that's where they're trained, that's where they're cared for, rotated. And they have a limited operation, as you just mentioned, like you hardly see them, right? They only tend to operate in the morning. It's weather dependent, and if conditions aren't perfect, they simply don't run, basically. So from Disney's perspective, it's like, well, having horses that carry people is already a bad look in France. We're not getting our money's worth because, it's a fairly expensive operation. So regardless whether they're, with vets and everything like that, regardless whether we're running it or not, we're still paying the same price. So it's basically a large portion of money that's going out from Disney for guests that never actually really experienced it. I've yet to remember when I went onto the horses. As for someone that's really gutted about it, like, because it usually comes out in the morning and I'm at the parks usually for around 11-ish. Like, I don't wake up early to go to the parks. I wake up late and stay to the end rather than go to like extra magic hours where the horses would have been out and done by that time. So I understand in that point in terms of image and money and finances. Yeah, it's like, what's the point? Let's just get rid of it. However, the horses aren't just like horses from the street, right? They're Pecharons, right? They're specifically trained horses that have been trained for this. they're looked and cared for, and it's not like Buffalo Bills where the horses had a much more intense and demanding schedule, right?
Yeah.
It's just carrying a few people down the street for an hour in the morning, and that's it. So I don't think it's the same. And also, I don't think everything that exists, and this is what Disney really is about, I don't think everything that exists in Disney should be based on what is, capacity or monetary gain or anything like that. I think
Yeah.
things should just exist because it adds atmosphere,
Yeah.
essentially. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it should exist for, this is again me talking about kinetic energy. When you come into the park and you see the horses, if you're awake early enough, right, even if you don't go on the horses, that it brings just a different energy to the park, right? You're hearing the hooves, you're hearing the ding ding, right? And then the music background. It just brings that kinetic energy that is very hard to explain, but it's very easy to feel. And
Yeah.
things like that aren't, you can't capture that on spreadsheets and on bills. That you can only capture that through memories and through feeling. And so I think in terms of that, Disney should just have it. But again, looking at it from the business side, I understand why. So yeah, it's sad for me.
Didn't they say it was because they needed the backstage space or something?
Well, there we are. I think it's easy to use that as the crux.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's too expensive and, we don't want this image. But I think something deeper may be involved, which
Yeah,
is
you said that to
that
me.
real estate backstage is sortly, high after now with the
Yeah.
park. And they're looking to probably do things to help in one way or another Disney Adventure World or the main park. So yeah, that if you're asking Disney what is on the priority for the future, is it keeping the horses or if it's to help future expansions? On what their answer is going to be, isn't it? So
Yeah.
but yeah, it is a bit gutting.
It is a bit. Because like you say, I think you summed it up really nicely. Like, it's that atmosphere and in the bubble when you're on Main Street and hearing, like, their hooves go down Main Street and things like that. It's not necessarily, other people would probably completely glide past that, but I completely understand what you mean. Like, that will be missed for me.
Yeah. But who knows? Maybe electrical ones, right?
AI
don't know.
horses?
Your horses. God, how depressing does that sound?
No, let's move on.
Yeah. Next news is Melissa Valiquette has been named SVP of Operations for Disneyland Paris. She is, for the Disney park in general, nerds out there, she has been operations managers for Magic Kingdom and for Epcot at Walt Disney World. Has been very good and has been, turned after. I think this comes as the news of Christoph Murphy, who did oversee operations, now going to CEO. And on the face of it, it looks good. It looks promising. I have seen Americans come to Disneyland Paris, nothing changed, and then they go somewhere else. So I'm hoping this isn't like, I'm just going to do this as a springboard to go to somewhere else, and that there is an actual effective change in operations in DLP. But who knows? I want to wish her all the best and hope that it does work out. But we'll
I
see.
mean, we'll wait and see what happens. Also, news that's come out this week is that the Eurostar competitor, Gemini, side note, never heard of them, has announced plans to operate services to Disneyland Paris from its hub in Stratford, also offering such as Ebbsfleet and Ashford. This is music to my ears. Also, worth noting, this is not meant to start until 2030.
Yeah.
But fantastic news, because I'm sorry, Ash, because when me and Ash go to DLP, it's like I meet him in London. I've got to get a train from Kent to London. And then when we go to DLP, I'm going back. I'm sitting on the train. I'm going back the way I came to go to Disneyland Paris. So it is, for those of us that live in sort of Essex and Kent areas, this is a game changer because I miss being able to get on at Ashford or Ebbsfleet International, if I'm being perfectly honest. I'm sure a lot of people feel the same.
Yeah, and it makes sense, I always said that I don't think any monopoly should exist, and I always didn't like the monopoly of Eurostar, where they could just do what they want and cut services and say, yeah, we're not doing that, and what are you going to do about it? And then, of course, charge crazy prices for it. It's funny. The CEO of Gemini Trains, Adrian Quinn, says the forecast growth of the Channel Tunnel is enormous, yet only 50% of the slots on the track are currently used. Eurostar, a monopoly operator, has become lackluster and very expensive. We will shake things up by offering new routes, new stations, new trains, new interiors, new cheaper fares, and encouraging people to shift from plane to train.
But this is the thing, that is so
So, yeah.
important. Like, I'm not going to start getting political, but we're, for the climate, for the planet, we should be using the train. I want to use the train more. It's incredibly easy for me to use the train. I live opposite the sea. But when Eurostar over COVID decided to just completely stop running trains to Disneyland Paris, I still think that is a mad decision. And I thought maybe they'll bring it back because, it's still incredibly it's the most popular tourist destination in Europe year on year. They still haven't brought it back. So now they've got this Gemini, and also there's also been loads of rumours I've seen over the years of Virgin starting a train route. So if they've got two competitors biting at their ankles, it should, and this is only, 3-4 years away, it should really shake it up. And I think it's something to be excited about because it makes travelling to Disneyland Paris so easy.
Yeah,
when you don't have to change, I mean, it's not terrible anyway, but when you don't have to change and you can jump on the train and get door to door to, our favourite place ever. Yeah, fantastic.
Like, it's no brainer, right? Do you know what I mean? And I will if they're saying no direct Disneyland Paris, and I'm coming out of Marne-Valley Station, just like we used to, where you just look up and you go up the stairs and you're there.
Yep, you're there. Yeah. Wow.
Then,
yeah.
Mate, forget that, because what I do now, like, people still do the whole Lille thing, but I find that far too expensive. I just go to Gare du Nord and I take the RER. And to be fair, I don't know, maybe it's because I've done it so many times, I don't mind it now. I've kind of numb to it.
It's not.
But it doesn't mean that if there's it's not the worst, but it doesn't mean if there's a much easier and faster and just as cheap, if not cheaper route, and I wouldn't take it. Of course I'll take it. So,
but at the moment there's no alternative really, is there?
No, and that's the whole point.
You've got to change somewhere.
You got it. So, yeah. Funny thing to name in the news is the Lorcana. Is that right? Is that how I'm pronouncing it?
Lorcana, yeah.
Lorcana Cards Frenzy. So there has been a frenzy of Lorcana cards that was released over the weekend.
That's right.
Worldwide. And there have been videos of people camping out, fighting, rushing to get these cards as far as Walt Disney World in Florida, World of Disney at Disneyland Paris, and even on our own home turf at Disney Store on Oxford Street. So, yeah, I'm not a Lorcana. Yeah, they had to close the shop and call police. I'm not a Lorcana cards fan. I've never got it. I think you are slightly into it.
I am, yeah.
Could you explain what the hell's going on?
Okay, so to be honest, I don't even really know. So a lot of, this is going slightly off subject, Pokemon cards has had a massive resurgence in the last couple of years. My other half collects Pokemon cards. He doesn't trade them, he doesn't sell them, he just loves collecting them. And I get it. And actually, over the last couple of last couple of months, I'll say, I've been going with him to the card shop, and our local card shop, they're really great. Shout out, We Love Collectibles. They're fantastic in there. I was talking to one of the girls there about the Lorcana cards, and she was like, well, if you're into Disney, like, why not? She's like, it's not as big as Pokemon, but it's gonna get bigger. And I was like, okay. So I've bought the last couple of sets, and yeah, it basically what it is, it's a trading card game. It's a trading card game of all the Disney characters. There's different themes for each set. I buy it because I like the artwork. That's it. But people, now that it's getting more popular...
Yeah, but why has it gone nuts, though? Why are people fighting over it?
Because it's more popular, the cards are now worth, especially like the really rare cards, like the Enchanteds, the Epics, the Legendaries. Those, it's like the full artwork card. Those cards can be £1,000s. Yeah.
Thousands of pounds?
The last set, the Wilds Unknown set, the chase card was a full artwork Buzz Lightyear. That card is now worth $5,500. It's hard to get people, and actually, what was happening in the Disney store? It was a launch day, so there was a new pack called Attack of the Vine, which I was lucky enough to get because I have a nice card shop that let me pre-order them. But there was also, I think it was, I mean, people will correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't actually know about this. The set that people were fighting over was like a curator's collection. It was called like the Heroine set, and it was all princesses in like a special limited edition box. So that was being sold at Disney stores, at the parks, and I think that's what the commotion was about. I think it was also the new launch, but they also had these limited edition collector's box sets as well. But yeah, the videos have been, and when I saw it at Disney Village, people were literally leaping over barriers and pushing people over. I was like, what the hell is
One
going
guy
on?
like jumped over.
Yeah, like
And
long jump.
and long jumped and almost like fell and like he probably
Yeah.
could have broke, and that's just embarrassing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Could you imagine having to explain
The
what happened?
cards.
Why have you what happened there, Dad? How come you had to? Why could you got that scar? Where did that come from? Oh, it's an operation. Really? Well, what happened? I jumped over barriers to get some cards, and I snapped my arm in two places and I had to go and get surgery. I just don't get it. But people have their things.
You better hope this doesn't happen in the model village community, Ash.
Wow.
You'll be fighting tooth and nail for your model villages.
It's on.
It's on.
People.
It's on.
It's on. All right. So there is one more news. Is there one more news?
Sorry.
We've got to leave this to the last one.
Leave this to the last one, yeah. Again, forgive me if I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Don Iwers has passed away. So he was a Disney legend, a pioneer in the development of numerous camera, projection and other technical systems for Disney parks and films. He passed away on the evening of July 9th at the age of 96.
Yeah, so he, of course, is the son of legendary Ube Iwerks. And yeah, he, basically helped with the development of the camera and the productions and, the photographic process. Absolute legend. So, yes, just sending out well wishes to the family. But yeah, definitely another legend of Disney that has passed. All right, we have news, but not so news. It's funny. We wanted to speak about two things. We're going to start on with the Heatwave at Disneyland Paris. Holly, you went a couple weeks ago. I went just last week, and we both experienced the Heatwave at Disneyland Paris. Slightly different experiences.
Yeah.
But what was your experience? How was it for you? And what was it like?
It was 41 degrees.
Bloody hell.
It was so hot. It was so hot. To the point where I don't feel like I had a Disney holiday. And like, do you know what? We knew that it was going to be hot. Like, we were looking at it like, oh, God, what can you do about it? You literally can't do about it. People were cancelling, people were changing. It was our daughter's birthday, so I didn't want to change it. I tell you what I am going to talk about. the saving grace of being in the heatwave at Disneyland Paris at the end of June was our accommodation, because I stayed somewhere I've never stayed before, and honestly, I'm kicking myself for not staying there before because it was blooming brilliant. We stayed at Davy Crockett Ranch. Now, had we been staying at any other sort of on-site hotel, I think we would have been royally screwed, because if you've stayed in I don't know what the Disneyland hotel is like, but most of the hotel rooms I've stayed in during summertime don't really have aircon. So we had this lodge at Davy Crockett Ranch.
Well, definitely Santa Fe don't, but the rest usually.
I can remember staying in like Sequoia and it being like
really
pathetic. Yeah.
I don't know if it's good, but it definitely. New York and Newport Bay. But yeah, you probably were in the best place. Aside
honestly,
from
I think that was
Disneyland
our saving
hotel.
grace. Because can I just say, if you're thinking of booking going to the Davy Crockett Ranch, I don't know how good it'd be in the winter. Can't comment on that. The cabins were really clean. They had everything you needed, really nicely done out. You've got a lovely outdoor area. The pool blew me away. That is the best swimming pool I've had on site at Disneyland Paris.
On Disney property, really? Yeah.
Yeah. In Paris, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love the Newport Bay pool. I still like the Newport Bay pool. But if you've got children, especially children under the age of 10, in fact, actually scrap that. Like, if you've got kids, you will enjoy it. They've got a slide, they've got like a little lazy river, they've got like a splash pad. The swimming pool itself is massive. They've got like a baby pool. They've got jacuzzis. Like it was, and it's immaculate. Like my other half, he's quite funny. He's like, do you know, pools normally gross him out, and he is like, he won't get in things if they're not. He said I can't find a fault in it here. That's how good it was. But yes, the new lodges at Davy Crockett Ranch, the aircon in them was divine. There's an aircon unit in every room. So we did spend, I would say, like 80% of our 4 days at DLP hiding in the cabin with the AC on full whack, ice cold, or at the Blue Springs pool at Davy Crockett Ranch because it was just that hot. We managed maybe up until midday, and then we would have to go back, and then we'd do maybe 8 till 10, 11 o'clock of an evening because we were getting up and it was 35 degrees at 8 o'clock in the morning. And once it started to get in 38, 39, it's just, you know, when you've got small children, you can't walk around in it anymore.
That's crazy.
I haven't really thought about like a trip report, so I'm probably just blabbering.
No, that's fine. How do you think DLP handled it while you was there?
Do you know what? I just think people were giving them too much of a hard time. You know, in Europe, we're now seeing temperatures we've never really experienced before, and we're not built to deal with. I think it came on very quickly that week that we were there. So, like, it literally started on the Monday or the Tuesday.
Yeah, that's right. It was
we
very
arrived
sudden,
on the Wednesday, and
I remember talking to you about it. I'm like, oh, do you know, like, in the next couple of days, it's going to be 10 degrees higher than it.
Yeah,
it is now.
It was like every day we were there, it was breaking a new record. So it's like record high of 41 degrees, 42 degrees. It was quite scary, you know. And I have to say, do you know, I take my hat off. I think Disneyland Paris, they're not going to close, right? It's at the end of the day, it's a business. I felt quite sorry for the cast members because people were taking their hang-ups out on them. They don't deserve it. They're standing there in full, you know, uniforms.
Costume,
yeah, costume, uniforms. We didn't have parades. We didn't have fireworks. Do you know what? Fine. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't have stood there in that heat and watched the parade, let alone somebody be in a parade. It was Stitch Week. I didn't see any of that.
Did you see anything? No?
No, I
Nothing
didn't.
happened?
But do you know what? They had characters in Lilo and Stitch characters in Arcade Beta or Alpha underneath Videopolis. I saw that.
Right,
the queue was horrendously long for that. But I didn't see
interesting.
the 626 thing. But I'm rambling on again.
You was there during the week that a lot of you were there during the week. For some reason, a lot of American vloggers were going over as well. You had Chris Park, Provost Park Pass. You had Mammoth Club.
Tim and Jen
Tim Tracker. Yeah. Did you see any of them?
No.
No.
No, I was hiding away in the shade.
Yeah, which is fair, to be honest with you.
What was I going to say? How did DLP deal with it? I mean, I think they did the best they could in the circumstances and how quickly it come on. Like, they weren't using fireworks. They were, you know, all parades or shows were adapted or cancelled. You know, it is what it is. Rides were closing from about midday. You know, if you didn't get on Big Thunder Mountain first thing in the morning, you weren't getting on it until 9 o'clock at night because it's just unsafe for the outdoor rides to run in those sort of temperatures.
So even Big Thunder Mountain was closed, yeah?
Every outdoor attraction. I wonder if Steve's still got the screenshot. So Steve was like, look, we'd come back at lunchtime because it was just unbearable. It's getting to like 40, the temperature was getting to like 40 degrees. And we'd check the app, and then anything that wasn't an indoor attraction was then shut, which I think for safety of guests, safety of cast members, and also for the rides to, you know, not combust or something. There was something else that I wanted to mention as well.
It's funny you mentioned about the adaptation of parades or floats. I saw a video, and I don't know if you was there to see it.
I think I know what you're going to say, but yeah.
But the million splashes of colour, of course.
Yeah.
There was no dancing. They were in floats, which was fine, and the floats looked like had the theming, but it was different music. It was magic everywhere. Like
my
the old
parade song.
Which I love that parade song, but it was like, am I losing it or what?
It was just Mickey on a Million Splashes float, and it was so jarring because it's like magic everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Have
And I'm
I
like, what is going
transported
on?
back to 2010? Because for those of you who don't know, Magic Everywhere was my favourite parade, to this day, my favourite parade, and it was for the 20th anniversary. But, like, I understand just putting, like, well, I mean, I don't really. Poor Mickey. Mickey's there on the Million Splashes float, but why did they change the music?
I don't know. That's what
It
I
was
mean.
so
I have no
random, and
idea.
it was really quick as well. They just whiz him along like
Like,
Magic
I could
Everywhere.
understand, oh yeah, maybe because that music is shorter than Million Splashes of Colour,
It
but
used to be a
not
whole
really.
full parade.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't understand. I literally don't understand. I was like, is it 2015 again? Why is Magic Everywhere playing? It was
I mean,
was
I'm not
really,
hating on
really
it
funny.
because I was like, this is music to my ears because I miss that.
Yeah.
I miss that song. I'm trying to think of like anything else that like really like a lot of the kiosks had to close, which understandable. Like they don't have air.
Gibson Gill?
Yeah, I was getting to that. So the day it was the hottest, right? The hottest day we were there. We'd gone back in of an evening to do some rides in Disneyland Park because obviously they've reopened. So like Big Thunder Mountain had reopened and some outdoor rides had reopened. And we thought, oh, we'll go and stand on Main Street as the sun's going down, and it's a bit more bearable now, and we'll go and get an ice cream. Denied. On the hottest day France has ever seen, and I mean, since that day, it has never been as hot as that day. The Gibson Girl was closed. I couldn't get an ice cream. I just thought that was really funny and such a DLP thing to do. Like, understandable if they don't have any way of calling the staff members down there, but it's like that's the only place you can get an ice cream. And I just thought that was really funny. I think I was with my friend Brit, shout out to Brit, and it was the day before her birthday, and she was like, but I really want ice cream. So she mobile ordered a Magnum from Casey's.
Yeah.
But she was like, do you know what I mean?
Just have to be savvy with it, I suppose.
Yeah. And also, like, even when we watched Cascades, because see, Cascades was adapted, I didn't see the drones the first time I saw it, which was back in March when I went to the Frozen preview. This time I had drones, but I didn't have fireworks. So one day I'll get to see it properly in its full thing. But I was like, oh, I really want to try one of those hot dogs from Cafe Luminosity. And there were still people queuing. So I was like, oh, go and get a couple of hot dogs while we, get our spot for Cascades. As I go to join the queue, customer's like, no, we're closing now. Yeah. It's 9 o'clock. The show's not on until 10:40. No, we're closing now. So that's the only, out of all the things, I think DLP dealt with it as best they could.
I think that's a DLP thing to do anyway, even without.
It is, and that's what I mean. I don't know why it was closing, but it was just like there was a few little things that I was like, ugh, like it's really hot and I can't get a drink easily. I can't get an ice cream easily, and I can't have a hot dog while I watch the nighttime spectacular. Are these things really that big of a deal? No. And I felt like the misters didn't really do anything. Do you know what? I'm a glass half full kind of person. So was it the best trip I've ever had? No, of course it wasn't. But we have to adapt and we have to get on. And we made the most of it. If that meant spending 4 or 5 hours a day in the parks in separate, chunks, is what it is. Overall, it was. I don't know if I'll book to go for my daughter's birthday again because this is the second heatwave I've had for her birthday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
What about you? Let's talk about Ash's trip to.
So I went at the time this recording over a week ago. And since you went, there was a bit of a break, similar to the UK where it was really hot and then it cooled down and then it started to heat up again. And I came back when it was heating up again.
Yeah.
And it was 37, 38, felt like 40 while I was there. And I was worried because hearing from what you went through, it felt like, DLP didn't really have all the answers of how to adapt or make it better. But one thing I did see from DLP is effort. And I will have effort override perfect execution all the time. Like, do you know what I mean? If you're just trying It may not be perfect, but you're trying to do something. I will forgive it because I know that you're trying. If you don't give a toss, do you know what I mean? Then it'll be like, what are you doing? And sometimes the LP can be like that. But this time, they weren't. They were genuinely like, look, we've learned our mistake from the first wave. We're going to do a lot more this time. So they're expanding on the misters. The actual mists coming out. They had that a lot more.
Yeah, you did. You had way more than we did.
Lot more in the Disney park. They had so I don't know if people recognize this, but there are fire hydrants throughout the park. They have to have it legally, case for anything, right? With fire. And so basically what they just did is they just had those on and then just brought out hoses and then punctured them.
Yeah,
and just let water
fire
spray.
hose, yeah.
Yeah. And so you had that in Frontierland. You had that like across Big Thunder Mountain. You had that just like in that area bit where you could take a photo in front of Big Thunder Mountain, just between Molly Brown and Big Thunder Mountain. Bit of area. They had that there. You go further up, you had it near Cowboy Cookout. You had it just outside Fantasyland. The entrance into Fantasyland. You're leaving Adventureland. You had it almost completely everywhere. Near Casey Juniors. There was just all of these places, and I'm just coming for the top of my head now of all the places that I've seen, and I'm sure there's more, of just hoses just spraying people with water all the time. And that was nice. That was a fun thing to see. They did have a lot more stalls open, not just the regular brick and mortar stores like Gibson Girls, but they also had a lot of like trailer stores, when they're pushing the trailer carts.
What about the popcorn carts?
Get like a magnum. They didn't have any popcorn carts open. But I would imagine people weren't too fussed about getting popcorn on 38-degree weather. And there were loads of massive lines to get a Magnum. And I was looking going, why are you guys waiting for... I wouldn't wait in the heat just to get an ice cream. But it people did. I went on to Pirates numerous times to get away from the heat. 40-minute waits on Pirates, which was crazy. But...
did you have to queue outside?
People queued outside, People queued outside.
No, so like if you joined the 40-minute queue, was you in the outside queuing area before you go into the show building?
Yeah.
See, it's funny, isn't it? Because I had Big Thunder Mountain whilst I was there, but Pirates was down for refurbishment, and you had the opposite of that. Ash was almost more fortunate, I would say, because Pirates won't go down because of the heat, because it's inside.
Yeah. So you had that. You had a lot more misters in Disney Adventure World, and they have discreet ones now, so it's not as obvious, and you're just walking like, oh, where did that come from?
And a little refreshing burst come from.
Exactly. But it was crazy. I saw a kid put his head into the frozen fountain, just literally.
That's always a
drowning
thing.
himself.
The fountain. I'm sure people can remember from years back, way back whenever it used to get hot in DLP, people would literally bathe their children in their Plaza Gardens fountain. Can you remember that, Ash?
Yeah, oh my God.
It's just what happens here. Guests do what they like.
Guests do what they like,
Yeah, you saw a bit of that.
Walking in the hub, and I'm seeing them on the grass next to the popcorn stand, just lying down in the shade on the grass in Discoveryland, right behind Space Mountain, and they're just all on that grass.
On the verge, by the railway station.
By the railway station.
Lordy.
On the grass next to Autopia. Just lying down where in Videopolis, where people charge their phones. I saw one guy just literally planked face first. And I'm like, oh my God, the heat is killing people.
I saw a lot of very weary children asleep on top of parents in the arcades, believe it or not. I actually came out of the Emporium and had to step over a little boy who was fast asleep, looked very hot and sweaty, bless him. That's all I saw, really. People were like flies, just laying sprawled out in the arcades whenever I went in them, and because it really was just like that hot. They did sort of come up as well while we were there. Animation Celebration, the old Frozen show, they turned that into a cooling zone and threw a towel over the Sven animatronic.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
But, so it seemed like Disney were caught off guard. DLP were caught off guard when you went, and once it came back again at the time I went, they were like, okay, we've got some things to deal with it. Not many things closed. Molly
Yeah.
Brown was open, so I'm
I didn't get
surprised
to
that
go
Big
on
Thunder
it.
Mountain was down due to the heat. But then when I went, the same heat was there and Molly Brown was open. Now, to their credit, they didn't have the top, which I love the top. That's my favourite
Yeah.
part of the Molly Brown, is going right at the top near the American flag at the back.
What were the new scenes
But-
like? Tell me, because I didn't get to see them because I didn't get to go on it.
So the scenes were okay.
Okay.
The scenes were okay. You probably may appreciate it more than I did, but I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, yeah, they've got the cattle there now, okay. They're grey, so they don't really massively
Hey, they had
stand
the
out.
geysers working as well.
But the
so,
geysers
like,
were working. So I took a video. I was like, yep, Holly's going to love this. Let me take a video.
I did very much enjoy it.
And then
I
colleagues who I went with friends, and like, what? It's just, I'm like, no, mate, you don't understand. This is a big
You
deal.
don't
to Holly.
understand, guys, okay?
So yeah, they had a lot more things open. The only things that they still kept closed was Dumbo. What else did they? What I feel like they had something else closed as well.
Was Casey Jr. or
No. The the teacups were open still.
yeah.
I even went onto Peter Pan's flight. I never
know,
go
I
onto
saw
Peter
that.
Pan's flight.
Neither do I.
That's how hot it was. I had to do something just to get into shade. I was like, all right, let's just think of some novel things to do just to get into the shade.
How long was the queue?
And I realized how jerky that is. I couldn't take. I think I took like one photo which was clear. Every photo was just blurry because you're going in just like, and then you're going like that. I'm like,
Do you know
they
what
hardly
I
give you a
hate?
chance to take a
when
photo.
it
Do they?
finishes, you know, when it comes to a stop at the end by the mermaids, and you goes, and then like you're like, oh my back, oh, look, because it's lap by like break your ribs.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it was just crazy. But yeah, they had a lot more open. Yeah, Orbitron was closed as well. Sorry.
Yeah, Orbitron. Yeah. Actually, was Autopia
Dumbo was
open?
closed and Orbitron was closed. Basically, any ride that was going to take you closer to the sun, they closed it.
What about
Autopia was closed as well. Yeah, actually, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Autopia was closed. So yeah, but they did a lot more.
Yeah,
to make it easier within their, but do you know what I mean? They're not God, they can't control the weather, so it was just like, it is what it is. They're not going to cancel it.
But did you enjoy yourself?
From that, yeah, still, and this is what I'm like, no matter what the weather is like, would you prefer that weather at home or would you prefer at Disneyland Paris? And I pick Disneyland Paris 10 times out of 10.
Absolutely. Just, you know, and also
I've been to Disneyland Paris and it's pissed itself down every day I've been there.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I take the kids like, oh, it's bloody, it's being miserable, isn't it? And I goes, yeah, okay, but it's miserable at home a lot of times as well. Would you rather be here or would you rather be at home when it's raining? I go, yeah, I suppose. So, do you know what I mean? And that's kind of how you have to look at it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't see the Magic Everywhere splashes of colour adaptation, whatever weird thing that was.
You would have appreciated that.
I would have. But
zooming past on a crazy coloured float. Animator's Planet style with Magic Everywhere. It's like it was such a oxymoron.
But I did see the drones come back for Tales of Magic.
I was,
and that was
a bit gutted.
Absolute mind. Like, my goodness, what the hell? What is going on? I saw like, you know, Mufasa and all of that, and I was like, this is amazing. Because, you know, constantly we was hearing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, today's production is cancelled. Do you know what I mean? And all of this.
We heard that a lot as well,
Like, you just hear that throughout the day. And the fireworks have now been cancelled, you know, due to, like, French law. But I didn't know the drones were coming back. And, yeah, the drones have been extended to, like, the 19th. So at the time of this recording, it's still going on.
No, I
was thinking, if you can still do that, for Tales of Magic and for Cascades, like, again, why is it an either or for Disneyland Paris?
Right. I still to this day, I mean, I'm sure there is a legitimate reason. I've heard rumblings of, because they're doing the Castle Bridge and they've just redone all the roofs in Fantasyland and drones have been damaging them. I don't know. But, like, I just think, come on, like, if you can't perform with fireworks, you should be performing with drones.
Yeah, 100%. Especially with DLP that was leading the way for the drones. You can't
I think.
Yeah.
We still are, I think. You know, seeing the drones for Cascade of Lights, I was thinking, do you know what? It was really quite... the drones the technology that we have for both shows in the parks are amazing, but like you say, why has it got to be one or the other? Like I say, I'm sure there is a valid explanation, and I was so happy for you that you got to see the drones for Tales of Magic? Because I know you really love Tales of Magic. I only
So
saw it.
yeah, I do. Tales. We went on the first night and we watched Tales of Magic, and they enjoyed it. Like, oh, okay, and goes, so what do you want to do? Do you want to watch Cascades first and then Tales of Magic the second night? Because then you've seen it all. Because yeah, do that. And so we had a reservation to go to Royal Banquet. By the time we finished, we was like, well, Tales of Magic is about, can't be asked to watch. Let's just watch Tales of Magic now, and then we'll watch Cascades tomorrow. Like, yeah, sound. So we watched Tales of Magic, and it was just as normal. We expected it to be. There wasn't going to be any fireworks, and there wasn't any drones. So fine. And then I don't know how the day. I can't remember why the day turned out as it did. But they wanted to watch Tales of Magic again, and I wasn't really mad at it because I didn't really care about Cascades. So like, okay, cool. Let me take you around Adventure Way because I think you would like it looking at it at night. So we showed him Adventure Way at night, and like, yeah, this looks really nice, peaceful. He goes, all right, let's watch Tales of Magic. And then I'm just sitting on Main Street
Chilling.
while people are standing because I'm like, it's for them. Do you know what I mean? I'm here 4 times a year. At least. And like, oh, my first, I was like, what? And I stood up and I goes, oh my God. And I was losing it, absolutely losing it because I didn't expect to see drones. And so I was just like, yeah, it was a great experience for me as well to like see the drones back again.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you're right. They should bring it back.
I think if you've got the option to do both, I don't know why they're not doing both. I'd love to know the reason why, because I just feel like I had a great trip at DLP, and I always do. The Heatwave, if I was summarise my trip, the Heatwave made me do things that I don't normally do at DLP, and that wasn't necessarily a bad thing, because I think when you go regularly, like we do, and like me and my other half, we all have our favourite and our routines that we do at DLP, and it forced us to reevaluate that and try different things. And for the most part, like I still had an amazing time, and I was there. I met a lot of like friends. I met some of you guys. It was my friend Britt's birthday, so we were celebrating in the park, and we watched Cascade of Lights, and got to do some rides together. And I just think, it was, it wasn't ideal, the temperatures we were seeing in the parks, but it forced us to sort of take it slowly and appreciate things a little bit more.
Yeah. And I'm hardly in like main summer. Like usually spring, summer, I'm either at Florida or Anaheim, and a lot of the time it's mainly Anaheim. So to experience Disneyland Paris in summer after a while was interesting.
Yeah.
And even if it's to say, yeah, I've done it in the summer, I know what it's like. It's good. But shout out to all the cast members.
Yeah.
They were fantastic and amazing as always. They still were cheery and bubbly. They weren't grumpy.
No, I didn't find that either. They were all so, and do you know what they were doing? They
don't have adapted costumes like the ones in Florida do, where they have shorts. They should.
Really should. I said
so they're in full costume, trousers, fully, looking like Prince, waistcoats and all of that. And they're still like, hey, everyone, how you doing? Yep, could you make sure? And very professional, polite, and still. So to the cast members, you know how we feel about you. We love you. Keep doing the great work that you're doing, because you're amazing.
And I don't know about you, but I was making a point, like whenever I spent a bit of time in Star Traders, and I was chatting to the cast members in there, and I was every place that I went, even if I was just buying a drink, if I was getting food, or like picking up some merch, I was making a point or saying to any cast member that I interacted with, basically, like, are you okay? Like, are you holding up okay? Like, how are you doing? Because I know that while I was there, their union was there with a temperature gun and basically fighting for them to say, like, there was arguments, but I think between head ups in DLP and cast members that they weren't allowed to roll their sleeves up. But after I saw that their union was there, the next day they all had their sleeves rolled up. So I thought, even still, it's not really going to cool them down, is it?
Yeah, no. But they are my favourite part of the park. They are the make or break of your Disney experiences. It will be the cast
members. They really are.
So, yeah, thank you. All right, I think that's probably all of that I've got from my experience in the Heatwave.
I have a question for you.
Yeah?
Did you have the bread bowl?
So, no, you know what? I didn't even actually go that side. Because the first time I went that side, it was closed. They cordoned it off because they were getting ready for Cascades. And then the next day, I was in the main part for majority of the time. And then I took them to Disney Adventure World because I wanted them to see it like twilight evening. And then again, because I took them again during Twilight Evening, I
Didn't go that way.
I didn't go that way. We went on all the right, we went, crushes and whatnot, and Tower was 75 minutes.
Forgot to say
Nuts.
something
We
about
went
how hot it was.
Frozen, they loved Frozen. So like we did everything, but we didn't really experience much of the food at Disney Adventure
It's better
World.
in Adventure World. Anyway, that's what I was going to... Before we move on to the last segment and we wrap this up, it was so hot while I was there that the bridge that connects sort of like where Cars Road Trip and World of Frozen is, that the one opens, it got stuck open. It got so hot that
That's
it warped
insane.
open, and they had to hose it down to fill it shut.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's what they do now. They hose it down. So that happened when you was there as well then?
It was the first time it got wedged open. Like it was closed and it opened for Cascades, and we were standing, like the priority area by World of Frozen.
Yeah.
We was in that bit, and then we was like sort of hanging around talking after the show and stuff. And then next morning they were like, yeah, we still can't close it. It was on, like, I think DLP Report posted it, because it was still open. We had to go the other way round. We couldn't go that way round for the whole next day because it was wedged open. But yeah.
No. I did have the French soup at Rosalie, so...
Had that before. It was very nice. I had it with you, actually, I think.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, exactly. We had that together. So, yeah, Heatwave hack, just have French soup at Rosalie, and then you'll be in an air-conditioned room.
Lush.
So, yeah, next time, of course. All right, next segment on our main discussion is D23. D23, of course, is the biannual Ultimate Disney event where the Disney company will have a lot of announcements in entertainment, in studios, as well as the parks, of course, where we focus on. And they did a lot of announcement. The last one they superseded themselves. They did a lot. So I think now we're going to go with predictions of what they may announce for Disneyland Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I think there will be announcements.
Yeah, there'll be something. Whether that's something will be interesting or not, I don't know.
Yeah, I think maybe. But I think what we're going to do is share our thoughts on what is realistic announcements, and then maybe some wild cards or something. But what have you got down?
So I think I have gone for the really obvious option.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to see the Flogo. I think we're going to maybe hear a song for a new parade, or a artist's impression of a new parade. I think we're going to see maybe a little bit more about Lion King and more from the Up attraction. And that is what I don't think we're going to get more than that, if I'm being real with you. I'd be very surprised if we get more than that.
Okay.
That's just me being matter-of-factly about it. I think we've got the 35th coming up this year. I think it would be ridiculous if they didn't even just show the logo of what the 35th is going to be. Bet you it's like a fancy 35 with blue into pink or purple. Never been done before for Disneyland Paris. And everyone will go bananas over it. Just give us something new.
So I've got these realistic predictions. I've got release date for Lion King Land and potential name. I don't think they're just going to call it Lion King Land. I think they're going to give it a name.
So what, an attraction name?
No, like the name of the land, like Pride Land.
It's going to be the Pride Land, isn't it?
Or World of Lion King, if they know. If it'd probably be World of Lion King.
No, come on.
Just
I wouldn't put it past them, but
I wouldn't put it past them. That's what I mean. I wouldn't put it past them.
It's got to be the Pride Lands.
It's got to be the Pride Lands.
I'm going to start a petition.
It's got to be the Pride Lands, but it's Disneyland Paris. I also put 35th anniversary tees. I think we'll get a logo, and we'll probably may get some things for it. I think more details will happen at a Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, they normally do one in like the November time, don't they?
Yeah, the creator events where they invite all the content creators down, and then they'll announce some more of it.
Disneyland Paris, they will do a tease. Invite us. We're available.
Yeah, exactly. We are available.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I put this as realistic, but I don't know now.
Go on.
But for my third realistic, and I think it's, and the reason why is because I think it's relating to the 35th anniversary.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna I think they're gonna announce a new parade at Disneyland Paris. I think
Yeah, I said that as well, though. I
Disney
think there will
Stars
be a
on
new
Parade.
parade.
Yeah, I think the Disney Stars on Parade or something. Is that what
That
it's
was the
called?
20 for the 25th, was it not? Or 30th? No, we've had Disney
Yeah.
Stars on Parade for
No,
such a long while
for
now.
7 years now. For 7 years.
Yeah.
So, and I really hate that song. I don't know why. It just really,
Yeah,
really bugs
it's
me
not my
because it
cup of
could be
tea either. I'd never watch it. I
could be
never
so
stand up.
better. Yeah. So I think they're gonna announce a new parade for Disneyland Paris.
Yeah, I do too. I
And
hope, and I do think that is realistic actually, because I think after 7 years, I think Stars on, and I feel a lot of the community and fans of the park actually want a new parade now. I think we're all kind of a bit like, oh, to the point where, like I say, I never watch it. I never
no,
stand and watch the
I
parade
never
anymore.
watch it. I will
No, it's
watch
not like
Minion
Magic
Splashes of Colour. I'll watch Minion Splashes of Colour,
See, even
but I
I'm not that
won't watch
bothered
that
about that.
parade. Really? I love Minion Splashes of Colour. I love it. Like going into the castle, into the podium bit. When you're in the podium bit and you're just literally watching like each podium in between, like it's like sensory overload, even for me, but I love it. It's
No, I
great.
don't think I think that is a realistic expectation.
Okay.
I think I'll be surprised if we don't get a parade,
Yeah.
actually. But stranger things have happened.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that will probably be it. I think other
Yeah.
things they will announce, because they do like to announce a lot more details in their own press releases, Disneyland Paris.
Yeah.
I don't know why that's a thing, but it's just a thing where they will release
I'm not
minimal.
mad at it.
Nor am I, and that's why I was surprised with D23, the last D23, because I was like, what? You are announcing so much for Disneyland Paris.
Normally it's like you're
Right.
getting a new cookie.
Yeah. Exactly. Before it's like, at Disneyland Paris, they're getting Dole Whips. They're getting Dole Whips.
Except Cafe Le de la Bruce is going to close 90% of the time and you ain't going to be able to get a Dole.
Yeah, no, but now it's better because they're always open, but they just don't have Dole Whips for sale, which is just as, I've got wild cards though.
Now go on then. I've got a
We're not going to
couple.
add fantasies. We're not going to add anything stupid like, oh, they're going to announce a third part. Like, just get it out of your mind.
Get
They're not
real.
going to do anything.
Grow
Right?
up.
Get real. But they will. But I do have wild cards, which
Watch them announce a third part now, and you and me be like, "Well, this is awkward."
Yeah, well, do you know what I mean? I won't be mad. I won't be mad. If I look like a twat saying that and then they do it, then
I'd
I'm
rather
more
it
than
be
happy.
that way. Yeah.
I'm happy. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Fool me, doy. Okay, so these are wild cards that I think most likely won't happen, but they could happen. Like, it's not
Right.
out of the realms of possibility. A new flat ride for Disney Adventure World. I think we know about the Upride, and we already know it's coming out next year. So, like, just going on about more details about a ride that we already know and when it's going to come out, I think will probably be pointless. So I think it'll be like, and now we're working on another flat ride in so-and-so. Because I don't think that's the only 2 flat rides in the Adventure Way.
Yours are
It
way
shouldn't
more
be.
realistic than mine, wild card wise.
I think I think, and also it's something that will still be a placeholder between Lion King and whenever that third land of Disney Adventure World is coming. Do you know what I mean?
See, that's what my
whether
wild
that
card
be
is. I think that they
Really?
are going to announce that. Yeah, I think I'm going to just say it right here, right now. I think if we're going to get a big
Really? Wow.
announcement, in terms of big announcements, it will be that part is opening and it's going to be Moana themed.
Yeah. So we was all talking about, and not just me and Holly, but like content creators in general were like, oh yeah, look, they've got Navi. It's going to be Avatar.
Avatar.
And it could be, but
It still could be.
But they could also change their mind if they want to, because Disney.
I would
Paris
rather
has
it be
done that.
Moana, if I'm being honest.
But Moana has been the one that has been, and signs have been pointing to Moana a lot more.
Has been. They're very
So, I
heavily
wouldn't be surprised.
Moana. I know the movie, the live action movie just came out, but there was a lot of Moana merch I was seeing in the park.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm getting the vibe, and obviously Moana is in the float in the new cavalcade. I don't know. I'm just getting the vibe because
And Moana isn't too far off from Lion King as well.
No, this one,
Do you know
it
what I mean?
fits well between Frozen, Lion King. No, I can get that. Frozen, Lion King, Avatar, and then a princess cavalcade's coming along.
Yeah.
I don't see how that gels together quite well. But that'd be one of my wild cards.
So,
what else have you got, Ash?
My next wild card, and I know you and Jeff told me to drop it, but I refused to. But Space Mountain in its former glory will return.
Please. Do you know what?
And that
I'm sick and
horrid
tired of this.
hyperspace mountain overlay temporary is gonna go. It's gonna go, and they're gonna bring the Jules Verne. It just all the signs have been
In
pointing towards it.
85 years. Listen, it just makes me laugh. Right, this is the one thing that makes me laugh, right?
Yeah.
That whenever there's like, oh, there's going to be announcements to Disneyland Paris, there will always be a handful of people on Twitter, Instagram, in the ether out there be like, bring back the moon.
Yeah, bring back the moon.
And they're
Exactly.
gonna bring back the moon. And I'm like, they're not gonna bring back the moon. The dream is dead, guys. People have been saying that for as long as I've been.
Brexit is Brexit.
Yes, longer than Brexit, mate.
I'm sorry, but look, to me, all the signs have been pointing to it. They did a major revamp on Nautilus. They brought a major revamp
and they
on
took
all
away
the
the
lights.
best part of Nautilus.
Wow, yeah, but I mean, aside from, but they
you
revamped
can't tell
it.
Me that
they revamped it though.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
they did the lights for Space Mountain, and they got these laser lights now, and it looks so pretty. And I'm like, I don't know why you're putting money into these steampunk lights and everything, and redecorating it, not to just say, do you know what I mean? I think they've just been not even soft launching it, but they've been doing it in phases. Disneyland Paris have been doing a lot of things in phases. Like I'm very convinced, away
from things that
I'm very convinced
that they're doing it. Yeah,
I'm convinced that Disneyland Paris will get a new ride or even an extension at some point, and I'm convinced
that's the wild card.
I
think we're going to get a Star Wars expansion. I do. I'm still, because it was
I think that's fantasy. How are you saying that Hyperspace Mountain removing is a fantasy, but a whole new land that's definitely on the cards?
Because they have all that dead bit of land. I don't think that Disneyland Paris want Discoveryland to be in the state that it's in. And I just don't spend any time in Discoveryland. Like, I go there, I go
you don't
on
give
Star
a toss
Tours.
about it at all. Yeah.
Well, I like Star Tours, and I like Star Wars, and I like Hyperspace Mountain. But like, once I've done those things, I'm slinging me it. I'm getting the hell out of there. I don't want to be there because it's not a nice vibe. You're telling me that Discoveryland has the same vibe as Frontierland?
No.
I could spend all day in Frontierland or Adventureland, just taking in the vibe, taking in the soundtrack, the background music, just hanging out.
But I think
I walk in Discoveryland, I'm like, the ghetto.
I think Space Mountain will. I think Star Tours will begin where the extension starts, and Space Mountain will end where the Jules Verne's overlay brings you. You come in, you'll see Orbitron, you'll see Nautilus, you'll see Videopolis on the left, and you'll see Space Mountain, and then beyond that, it takes you to Star Wars.
That's what I think. I think in that expansion
but again, part of that would be Space Mountain not being Hyperspace Mountain. Have to be.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what? I actually just be happy if they just open the train station.
For God's sake, yes.
I'd just be happy if they open like Discoveryland train station. Like, Could
you imagine if that's a D23 announcement? Do you know what? We're going to run the train stations exactly how they're supposed to be done, and everyone just like, yeah.
I'd give them a standing ovation.
I would actually clap for that. Pathetic as that's an announcement, I would clap for that.
Anything else?
No, those are my only two wild cards. I mean,
this you'll probably say, Holly, that's fancy, and to be honest, it probably is, and it's probably completely baseless. But I did hear rumblings of like things going on in Adventureland because like a lot of the like rope bridges have been shut and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think like yes, there is potential for them to expand the Indiana Jones area, and some people are saying. And I don't know if it's even substantiated by any way, or if it's just
I haven't seen anything substantiated.
But people are saying, oh, it could be an extension, and they'll have that, but then they'll have some other experience for Indiana Jones, or they won't expand it and they'll just get rid of the roller coaster and bring
I don't think they'll get rid of a roller coaster.
Ride. But I don't
think they will. I forgot one, and it is fairly realistic.
I forgot one as well.
Was Newport Bay getting a renovation because we saw so much of that leaked
Yes.
artist impressions and like there's different themes to choose from. And then there was also a survey, and that was like, I mean, gosh, that must have been like at least 6 months or so ago now, maybe even longer, that we sort of touched on that on the pod. And I feel like, you know, now that Sequoia is wrapping up its renovation at the beginning of next year, I think then it wouldn't surprise me that then the Newport Bay will have its renovation.
Very good. That's a good one. Yeah. And I think, I don't know if maybe they will do that. I think that's a Disneyland content creator type of review where like the American
Paris,
people are like, why are you telling us about Newport Bay? We don't care about, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't think no one announced that on D23.
I don't care about whatever the hell they've done to Tom Sawyer Island. Absolute savages. Like, bring back Tom Sawyer Island. I don't want to see cars in like Frontierland. Get to
because my other wild card is similar to that, but I think they won't announce that at D23. I think that will be a DLP content creator announcement, but I think they would announce more of the expansion of the Disney Village because,
well, yeah,
you know, we all know that Rainforest Cafe is closing.
It is closing, yeah.
That is then going to expand that way. So like where the old McDonald's is, they're going to put more shops, and then it's going to wrap around to where Five Guys is, and so
Vapiano's,
and Vapiano's.
And also I hope they sort out the security there then, because back in March,
well, you won't have to go in. You won't have to go to security just to eat a burger or to go at Vapiano's.
Right.
So I think that's what they're doing. Yeah, I think that's what they're doing.
It will be so much better. But
I don't know if they're going to announce that at D23. I don't think that's
but we know it's happening.
Yeah.
We know it's happening. So I don't know if that needs to be well, I mean, we know, but we haven't been told.
Yeah. And there we are. That's what we've got. Those are our thoughts.
We did ask you guys on Instagram, what do you think will be the D23 predictions? And we asked you, let us know, and we'll read them out of the pod. We had one response. It was my sister.
Yeah? What did she say?
Galaxy's Edge. And I said,
Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So thanks for interacting with that one, guys.
Yeah, brilliant. Cheers for that. Yeah.
Good.
We will put you up on the pod if you engage and whatnot. But yeah, make sure to follow us on all platforms, and we will try and ask the same question as many platforms as we can, because we usually just do it for Instagram, but we'll probably, you know,
oh my God, I forgot to say.
We will do it for Facebook and for TikTok.
We're on Facebook now.
We are on Facebook.
We didn't announce that. I mean, is it? I don't know. We're on Facebook now, guys. I don't know what I'm blooming doing on there, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, we're still new to the game.
Yeah.
But we're having fun, and thank you all for, you know, joining us on this ride. It's still fun. Yeah, anything else before we wrap up?
Oh, I'm going on a Disney cruise, so I look forward to sharing that with you guys next time.
Okie dokie smoky. That is fun. This is the first cruise you're going to do.
Not my first cruise, but my first Disney cruise.
Disney cruise, sorry, is what I mean. Yeah.
I feel like actually the next, until the year's out, our episodes are pretty much lined up for us, because we've got, you know, summer fun Disney cruise next month. We're going to be going to DLP in September for the annual pass party. Then it'll be Halloween. Then it'll be Christmas. And then before you know it, we've got 15 episodes of the podcast. It's gone so quick. It's crazy.
I know. It is going really quick. And thank you to everyone that, you know, listens to us. We really appreciate the listenership. We really appreciate you engaging with us on socials. It means the world to us. You know, we're just really, really thrilled with the feedback that we've been getting so far. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
So we'll leave it at that, and we will see you on the next episode. Take care.